look at the internal rate of return on the death benefit, given whatever life expectancy you think you're going to live. Elizabeth wrote in from Oakland, California. Dear Joe and Big Al, I'm an early career doctor in California, and I'm beginning to do some estate planning. I'd be interested to learn your thoughts on how you use or on the use of whole life insurance as a means of transferring wealth to our children. My husband inherited 2 whole life policies from Northwestern Mutual that his parents took out on him in 1988 and in 1991. And at this point, the total cash value of $52,000 and a death benefit of $214,000 aren't significant enough that they may be worth keeping. We're planning as if we're going to max out the lifetime tax exemption on gifts and estates with the expectation that it may decrease. So far, we've been using our annual gift tax exclusion to fund our children's 529 accounts, e.g. currently $16,000 each per year. Thank you for that, Elizabeth. But soon those accounts will have enough and we'll want to direct the gifts elsewhere. We are considering naming our children as the beneficiaries of these whole life policies and then increasing the death benefit so that the annual premiums is roughly the annual gift tax exclusion. It is my understanding that on our death, the money would pass outside of our estate and be tax-free to our heirs. Do you see this as a reasonable gifting strategy? Of course, there is a risk of defaulting on the payments due to unforeseen financial circumstances in the future or the insurance company going bankrupt. Thank you for your thoughts. I drive a Volvo XC40 and a little dirty martini. All right.
Hopefully not at the same time.
No. A couple of things I'm worried about. Early career doctor.
Yep. Sounds like just starting your career.
So she's probably killing it, making a ton of money.
Sure.
She's got some small kids funding the 529 plans. And
Yep.
And so I'm guessing she's not in her 70s.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Or even 80s.
I'm going to guess
30s?
30s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If I had to guess.
If I would have, a little dirty martini and a little Volvo, I'm guessing like 36, 37.
It could be 40, but I think you're right on.
Right. Do not do this at this age if you're thinking about estate planning.
We don't even know what estate plan is going to be in 50, 60
70
years. We don't even know if we'll have it.
Right. So I would be careful with that. If you funded life insurance policies, okay, the death benefit is included in your taxable estate for estate tax purposes. So let me repeat that. If you buy life insurance and you die with the death benefit is included, not excluded, in your taxable estate for estate planning purposes. So you have to get the life insurance outside of your estate by setting up an irrevocable trust. So some people call it an ILIT, irrevocable life insurance trust. And so you set up the trust owns the life insurance, and then you're gifting into crummy letters and all this other complicated stuff that you may or may not even use if you're in your 30s. We would look at advanced estate planning for people probably in their 70s?
Yeah, I agree. It's way too early. And so here's the mathematics behind this. If you really want to set aside money for your kids, then either you buy life insurance in an ILIT. So here's how that works: is the $16,000 goes to this irrevocable life insurance trust. It's then that trust then buys the insurance, right? The kids are the beneficiary. Now it's outside of your state because it was through a gift. The kids have to sign these crummy letters to so that
they don't keep the money.
They don't keep the money, and they're accepting this as their gift. And then you got to look at, well, what if I just put in $16,000 in this trust? What's that going to grow to in 50 years versus what the life insurance will be worth? That's your calculation.
Right, because it's leverage. What you're doing is leveraging life insurance. So you're saying, hey, I want to give my kids a couple $1 million, or maybe it's 10 million. I don't know what you want to give them. But then you can look back and say, all right, well, what's the future value of my $16,000 contributions in a mutual fund that gets 6%? Right. And then you get a full step up in basis at death. That's where it is today. Maybe that changes. Then you don't have to go through this rigmarole. But if you want to use leverage and like the life insurance and say, hey, If I paid $16,000 and bought a $10 million life insurance policy, then you look at the internal rate of return on the death benefit, given whatever life expectancy you think you're going to live. If you're in your 30s, that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I agree. It's just way too early. You see this strategy for someone that's maybe in their 60s or 70s that has a huge estate, right? And then maybe instead of the 16,000 gift, maybe you do a large gift of $1 million or whatever. And then, you file a gift tax return for that. But now the trust has $1 million and then buys a whole bunch of insurance with that. If you think that's a good investment for the kids, and it's kind of you're just looking at your life expectancy versus the life insurance company, what they think, because truly they're going to make money, right? So if you think that you can get a good policy and you have short life expectancy, it could be a great investment. But in your 30s, to me, way too early to think about it.
Yeah, for estate planning play, but I don't know. We need, of course, they think they're going to have an estate over, $30 million, and maybe it decreases. What is it now? 12 something?
Yeah, about 12. So married couple,
25
25 million goes to the next generation tax-free.
Estate tax-free.
Estate tax-free, right.
So I don't know. I think there's other strategies that you can do, but I guess we gave you the math and there's the due diligence that you need to kind of figure out to see if it makes sense for you.
There's all kinds of other strategies that you can do. It's just premature right now.
All right. And we are not attorneys. We are not estate planners. We are just a couple of guys just chatting about emails that come in.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.